Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. A little bit on the late side. Kindly excuse the slight delay here. And a warm welcome to all of you on this, our 10th and last module for the series on GITA NAGARI essay. I'll begin with a short invocation. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyanandana Shalakaya Chaksuran Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutare Swayam Rupa Kadama Hyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisheshanyavadi Pastyata Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So once again, thank you very much for especially those who have been quite steady in participating in the series that we have been presenting. I chose for our title this evening, it's kind of like a broader title, because GITA NAGARI, the essay on GITA NAGARI, is impelling us towards a mission, individually, the mission of life, to become Krishna conscious. And our different acharyas over the centuries, they kind of dovetail somewhat the mission, or fine-tune according to Desha Kalapatra. And I believe that the message from the essay of GITA NAGARI is very pertinent, very powerful as well. And it is a theme that our founder, Acharya Srila Prabhupada, has carried throughout, I would say practically till his last breath, in terms of introducing Krishna consciousness on as broad a scale as possible. And that cannot be done unless we introduce Varnasrama, the Varnasrama Dharma. So therefore, the presentation this evening, I have entitled Global Varnasrama Mission. For those who may not know, since a number of years, we have both on WhatsApp and Telegram a group, about over 200 devotees are there, called Global Varnasrama Mission. And devotees share at different times various comments, articles, etc., in relation to Varnashram. This evening I've combined, as I will show up in a few minutes when I bring up the PowerPoint, a few short videos. One main video, which I believe should be of interest to all of you, that goes back in the very beginning year of 2015. We will all remember, we should remember how 2016 was the golden jubilee of our society, and the ministry that we established here in India way back in 2009, Varnasrama Ministry, took it upon itself to inaugurate actually a campaign, a global campaign that's called Om Sri Surabhi campaign. And in that context, actually, one devotee in particular put together a very nice video. Some of you might have seen, but I think It's always good to see. So I will immediately go and share my screen. Yes. Okay, participants can now see my screen. Good. And GITA NAGARI essay, module 10, Global Varnasrama Mission. We are all on a mission. Very closely linked to simple living and high thinking. And this is, I'm, I won't be able to share with you, but this scene is happening in my backyard here in Sri Ramayapur, where we have our Varnashram College campus. The local farmers are doing exactly what's happening on the what you see on the right side of the image, where they're cutting the paddy actually by hand. I mean, in many places now it's become mechanized, but here, at least in the immediate area, they're doing by hand. And it would have been, I didn't have time, but we did take some videos, maybe at some later stage. I'll definitely share it on some of our social media. And it's really amazing. I mean, they do it all the time, and for them, they take it for granted in many ways. But there's a whole art, I would say, and science in doing that. Cutting, putting it in special, I mean, in rows so that it can begin to dry. And the next day, which is what they were doing today, tying it in bundles, and then putting bundles, you might have seen in some photos of India, piling it and to protect it against possible rain that may be there. Okay, this is where we want to actually redirect modern civilization. So this presentation, yes, aims at establishing, as desired by Srila Prabhupada, Daiva Varnashrama Dharma, which is remaining very much 50% of Srila Prabhupada's unfulfilled mission. Short quote by Srila Prabhupada on Varnashrama College, because Varnashrama colleges are a key for all of this to happen. Without establishing Varnashrama colleges everywhere, what we are discussing won't actually happen. I want to share the mandate of the ISKCON Daiva Varnashrama Ministry briefly. Also speak about this more recent development, Varnashram College Foundation. And then I want to share with you this video I mentioned a few minutes ago, Om Sri Surabhi campaign. And then an interesting interview from a devotee who has been part of a community, of this particular community, Sharanagati village, since the last 40 plus years. And this was part of my doctoral survey a couple of years back. And then a call to action. Actually, there's a seventh one. I just didn't quite add it here, but yeah, there's another short video in relation to Prabhupada's various statements. A few of them I put together regarding how modern civilization is a doomed civilization, and and then what to do about it, right? So Srila Prabhupada mentioned many things, of course, regarding Varnashram and in particular Varnashram College. Varnashram College has to be established, Prabhupada says, immediately. And this was way back in 1974. That means like 49 years ago. Everywhere, wherever we have got our center of Varnashram College, should be established to train 4 divisions: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So that was mentioned on so many occasions by Srila Prabhupada. And therefore, here in India, I made reference to this a few times. I don't think I've shared the mandate, but I thought it would be interesting for devotees to see this. Going back in 2009, this was the mandate approved by the leadership here in India, to encourage the establishment in India of models of Krishna conscious rural communities, villages. To demonstrate in a practical way how the principles of varnas, aptitude-based occupations, and ashramas, phased lifelong spiritual emancipation, are universal and standard principles meant to be implemented. Yes. And let's see here. B, to demonstrate the principles of self-sufficiency, sustainability, and localized economy, based on proper utilization of land and cow protection. Second objective, or part of the mandate, to encourage, wherever possible in India, Varnashram-based rural development centered on land, cows, and Krishna, a theme we mentioned a number of times. And the third, in order to accomplish the above, to establish training programs, publish resource materials, organize conferences and seminars, establish libraries and resource centers, etc. Practically, I mean, in any of our centers or in any country, similar type of mandate could be, and I would say should be, introduced as well. Varnashram College Foundation is something less known because it was recently established by a group of devotees. What I am presenting is, of course, simultaneously connected with IDVM, because I was involved with IDVM, ISKCON Daiva Varnashram Ministry, for a number of years from its very inception. And more recently, in the last few years, focus on Varnashram College, the need for us to establish such colleges. So just to give a bit of a background, what is the vision, mission, etc. So we'll just go over this before we go to our different other presentations. Naturally, in the year 2020, this same group of devotees initially established what is called Varnashram College Online in the month of May, and has since provided free courses to over 400 students. It's probably more than that now, covering various countries, 20 plus, in 5 different languages. And this VCO was working in collaboration with the ISKCON Ministry of Education. Since the year 2021, the same group of devotees who began this initiative of online courses felt the need to actually establish an actual place, an actual college where on-site courses could be given. So that endeavor is underway, and therefore the Varnashram College Foundation was incorporated here in India. You can register such type of organizations either as a trust or society, and here they have foundation, which is under Section 8 company, not for profit. Yeah, so that was established, registered rather, in September 2021 under the Companies Act. And the objects of the company extend to the whole of India and outside So IDVM is within India, and VCF, Varnashram College, goes beyond India, and therefore it's important for devotees to know about it. And that's the website for both the Varnashram College online, as you can see in the first paragraph, and the Varnashram College Foundation in the second paragraph. What is the vision of the Varnashram College Foundation? Very closely connected with this statement given by Srila Prabhupada. There should be a thorough overhauling of the social system, and society should revert to the Vedic principles, that is, the 4 Varnas and the 4 Ashramas, from Bhagavatam 4:29-54, the purport. And what is the mission? We've formulated the mission of the of VCF as follows. In order to actually materialize Prabhupada's vision, 1, to train Varnashram Acharyas who will help establish Varnashram colleges wherever there are Krishna conscious centers or projects. That is the first of 3 objectives, broad objectives, which we could say make up the mandate of VCF. Second is to train Gurukul Acharyas who will help revive and restore the Vedic traditional system of Gurukulas. Essential. Varnashram colleges are essential, and Gurukulas are also essential. And the third, to train Kshatriya Acharyas who will help revitalize the traditional Vedic eco villages and help reestablish Vrindavan villages. On a number of occasions, Srila Prabhupada would instruct, make like Vrindavan, make Vrindavan villages. And this is exactly the theme of our essay, Srila Prabhupada's essay on Gita Nagari. Gita Nagari is that village, which is a replica of the teachings that we find in the Bhagavad Gita, which is to be found in Vrindavan. And this is the location, for those who know Mayapur a little bit, you might recognize it is actually on the east side of the Mayapur Institute. That's a bit small there, I'm sorry. We probably can't enlarge that at this point, but maybe it's 1 kilometer or so on the east side of the Mayapur Institute. And the Mayapur Institute itself is maybe half a kilometer or a bit more from the Gurukula. And of course, the Gurukula is half a kilometer, possibly from the main temple. So from the main temple, we are probably the location where I'm sitting right now, where I'm giving this seminar, is probably about 2 kilometers or so. And it's spread out as follows. For those who are not familiar with kata, you can make a note of it. In 1 acre, at least here in Bengal, it varies from one state to another. There are 60 katas. 60 katas make 1 acre. So we have 24 katas where which will be residential for householders. And we have another 12 katas for faculty members. We have the largest piece of land, of course, will be for the college campus, 30 katas. And we will have another 6 katas actually for a Gurukula. So all these things are in the making as we speak now. What will be the curriculum? We've gone over this, of course, but this is precisely the 4, actually 5 faculties that we will be introducing. And we also already actually have selected directors. Anvikshiki, the first of 4 faculties, the science of philosophy, 1 devotee by the name of Vishnurata Das, who is has already done his Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, and he's a resident of Mayapur, although originally from Indonesia. So he's our director for the science of philosophy, already giving courses on VCO, etc. I am overseeing the science of education, Trayi. We've given a few courses and hope to develop this more in detail. Then Dandaniti, we have a devotee by the name of Radharam Prabhu, who is heading up the fourth Vartha, Science of Economics, another resident faculty who is a one of the directors, as we will show shortly, of the Varnashram College Foundation. In addition, we have added the fifth faculty of traditional technologies, which is headed up by a devotee named Vasudam Das. Yes. And our management, according to the memorandum of association, of course, there's a minimum in terms of directors. We have at present 4 directors. These are the directors: Dayal Mukunda Das, Sridhari Das, and let's see, Radharam Das, as well as Vasudam Das. We are expecting to increase the number of directors in due course of time. Yeah. Okay. We also have a group of devotees who are advisors, and I'm part of that group, as well as Bhakti Vikash Maharaj, Hanumat Preshak Maharaj, one devotee by the name of Bharat Chandra Prabhu, who was in the initial stages the national coordinator, actually, of the ministry, Varnashrama ministry, and very active in community development. As a matter of fact, he's, along with other devotees, they have started a community in South India, South Karnataka, which they have called actually GITA NAGARI, on the foothills actually of the Sayadri Mountains, a very nice area. And then Venugopal Prabhu, who's the a co-deputy minister for the Ministry of Varnashrama, and he's also, of course, based here in Mayapur. And now I would like to, I'd like some feedback on this as soon as possible, in case the sound doesn't come through, because we had a bit of that problem the other day. This is the feature video that promotes this Om Sri Surabhi campaign, and basically the whole ideology of the Varnashrama mission, because we've touched on this a number of times. Vedic culture is largely a cow-based culture. That's a whole topic in itself. And we could have touched probably a lot more, or even focused, what to speak of touching briefly, but we could have focused on various aspects in relation to what we call cow-based culture. So this is about a 14-minute video, and on the group that we have, I will be looking at this particular group to see if there's any comment regarding the sound here. So we'll just start this, and yeah. I'm just thinking how, because I've not used videos as parts. I've inserted this in the PowerPoint, but on second thought, I think what I'll do, it'll just take a minute. I will come out of the screen and show directly so that we have a full screen of this video. I think that will be better. So let me just do that. I'm coming out of the screen and should be able to, let's see. Yeah. I will again share my screen and bring this up. One small second. Well, hey. Not allowing me here. Oh, maybe because I have to. Okay, one small second. Okay, yeah, this should work. Yes, video master. Yes, and full screen. Here we go. I think that's much better.
We can't hear anything, Maharaj.
Uh, modern technology. Wow. Okay, let's try this again. I mean, yes, I was very happily looking at the video here. I'll start again. I just sent a message and I was waiting. I just told, I was expecting some kind of response, but okay, sharing and God, Krishna. Okay. Yes, I'm just trying to make this larger. God, okay.
I guess, Maharaj,
Yes.
it's still not audible. I guess, Maharaj, because Your Holiness is wearing headphones, it is relaying to you, but it would have to be changed in settings. So, just for the duration you're playing the video, if you unplug the headphones, I think that would be better.
Okay, I'll unplug the headphones and send me a message if you can.
Yeah, we can just check, Maharaj.
I mean, everyone can see the video?
Yeah, the video is visible, Maharaj,
Yes.
but the audio is not audible.
Okay. I'm going to start it again. And there seems to be some kind of technical thing. I don't know what it is. Can my co-host give some suggestion?
Actually, while we share some video, we have to enable audio to be shared also, Maharaj, but I don't know what is happening exactly. I will just try and figure it out,
Well, I mean, let's see. Hmm. It says select a speaker, and it's ticked for external headphones. So that probably explains why the sound is only going to the external headphone.
If not, if you could change it to default or desktop speakers, I think that should do.
Um, hmm. There's no, well, it says same as system, external headphones.
Is that the only option you're seeing, Maharaj?
I'm seeing a few more like Mac Air speakers.
Yeah, because we can just play it through the speakers and from the mic in the computer, that should be able to do instead of juggling so much.
Let me try this.
Yeah.
Just tell me right away.
Yeah.
Were we able to hear that?
No, Maharaj, could you play once more?
Yeah.
We're still not able to.
Can you hear that?
No, we are still not able to hear, Maharaj.
Still not able to hear. My God. I'm just looking at the, well, switch to phone audio settings. Let me just, hmm.
Could you click on share screen, Maharaj? There it should show some settings.
Can I click on what?
Share screen, just below the audio. Yeah. No, let's just check, Maharaj. Just a second.
Any further thoughts on this?
Maharaj, I just received a message from some devotees saying that the audio was playing, but with some lag.
Audio was playing, but what?
With some lag in between, so it was stuttering. The audio was stuttering. So
Well, I played it and stopped it.
no, before we did that, when it was playing continuously.
Well, can you just be on the line and get me immediate feedback on your unless you give me some feedback, we won't go anywhere here. I will start again. I will unplug. I just unplugged my earphone. You can still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I will start the video now, and you kindly find out from a few devotees if you can hear the sound. I'm starting it now.
Now.
Yes, yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj, we can see it.
Haribol Gumaraj, the sound is not good at all. I just looked on the internet. In the share screen where we were, there's an advanced tab, and you have to select video and should play the sound. If you want to try that. Because now sound is not good.
I just stopped it right now. You're telling that I should go where to change
Well,
something?
there was this option to share screen and audio settings.
One small second to share. I had that a few minutes ago. Audio settings, yeah.
Then you go to share screen.
Yeah.
And then you go to advanced tab in the back and at the bottom.
At the bottom, advanced.
Yeah. And then there should be play video. That's what was written on the internet. Sorry if it's not there. Screen Chatter mode, maybe check this one if you can select something. It's written auto, but maybe there's a video or something. See this? No.
Well, I pressed on advanced. These are the
there's
options.
auto here. Auto, you have to select it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh God, that's not there. I just looked on the internet. It was saying that was there. Sorry, Maharaj.
Okay. The sound is not coming, or it's coming but not good.
Not good, no, Maharaj.
Yeah, the sound is coming, Maharaj, but because it's through speakers, it's quite. It's not good.
Okay. Well, sounds good to me. Where I am. Hey, I mean, we're in India here. We have all these, these super tech guys here, and I can't figure out how to get a good sound. Okay, what I can do is see this. We have an interview with one devotee I mentioned, and we'll see how that comes out. So I'll stop sharing my screen right now. Get out of this. No, I don't want to be in the meeting. Where are we here? Yeah, this guy. Right. Okay. I had another a nice interview actually with this devotee. Actually, his name is Balakrishna in Sharanagati. It's a short, relatively short interview with him. So let's see how that comes out. Well, sharing screen, and here we may have the same problem, but let's look. So, so I need to know, Naranarayan Rishi, when I start this, if it comes or not.
Yes, Maharaj.
So Bhakti Raghava Swami has posed 5
Yeah, you can hear quite clear.
Okay, quite clear. Okay, let me see if I can make this bigger. Whoops, something happened here, which I didn't want to happen. Bigger.
So doing, we can
God. I think that's for now. This is the size that we're going to be looking at.
for the relevance of our Vaishnav communities in the current affairs of the world. So the first point that Maharaj brings forward is this, and he's framed it in this way. What efforts has your community made in the last 2 years to bring our community closer to self-sufficiency and sustainability? So, self-sufficiency and sustainability. They're similar but different. So I live in Sharanagati Eco Village. I have lived here and been involved since the beginning, some 40 years ago. Sharanagati Eco Village is located in a somewhat remote valley in the mountains of southern British Columbia. It's about 4-hour drive from the big city of Vancouver. So much of what I have to say today over the next few minutes is draws from my personal experience living here those years. Self-sufficiency and self-sufficiency and sustainability has many elements that need to be considered, but it all starts with food security. And a close second is, and closely related, is energy security. In Sharanagati, aside from most families having big and good gardens, and by the way, there's about over 30 families living here in this eco village. Certainly, the global systems are highly centralized and controlled by foreign actors, leaving communities vulnerable in the political and economic whims of these foreign actors. So local communities all over the world are really suffering due to this globalization. And these foreign actors and foreign agendas are insensitive to the needs of common people in the communities that they're living in. So eco-village philosophy and values are just the opposite to this globalization that's taking place with multinational corporations and their systems which prioritize profit over all other values. So issues of food and energy security are best addressed by local people in their local communities. This is a foundational principle for happy and healthy communities. And unfortunately, this principle is at odds with the current prevailing narratives pushed by the mainstream media and education system and all the other systems that are bombarding us in this modern age. So Star-Nagari Eco-Village is very much a work in progress. Self-sufficiency does not suddenly happen with the flip of a switch. Appropriate infrastructure needs to be built. New skill sets need to be learned, and perhaps most importantly, the correct mindset needs to be cultivated. And all this takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It may even take a generation or more. So in the case of Star-Nagari Eco-Village, progress has been slow, but steady. And there are over, as I've explained, there are over 30 homes with big gardens, and most have excellent off-grid power systems with solar panels or hydroelectricity generated from the streams that are coming off the mountain and into the valley. And in some cases, we have a combination of hydroelectricity combined with solar energy to generate our electrical needs. So 2 years ago, we purchased another 160 acres at the north end of the valley. And this in turn secures the water from the main stream flowing into the valley from the mountains. And as you understand, this is sustainability is not possible without water, sufficient water. You know, without water, there's no life. So this past year, aside from expanding home gardens, we have also been developing a 5-acre community garden. And in this community garden this past year, we initiated 2 community projects. Last growing season, we started a bean project in which we grew out many experimental plots and of different varieties of beans. There are thousands of varieties of beans, and many of them grow really well in Star-Nagari in our climate. And of course, beans are a staple in a vegan's diet, and people living in Star-Nagari Eco-Village are all vegans and vegetarians. And the other project on our community garden was the potato project, in which we grew out about 7 different varieties of potatoes, all for the purpose of being 100% self-sufficient in supplying all our beans and all our potatoes for an entire year for the community. So another important feature of these initiatives is the involvement and participation of our children. Our Eco-Village school includes active participation in agriculture by our children. Hands-on agriculture is incorporated into the students' curriculum. So Bhakti Raghava Maharaj has posed another question for us to comment on. This is the question: what lessons can be gleaned from the COVID-19 phenomena, and how has it impacted individuals' and for that matter, entire nations, the entire world for that matter. So much could be unpacked from this question. Certainly there has been a profound impact by COVID over the past year, and I see it continuing for quite some time to come. So without going into a lot of detail, we can say that COVID has been weaponized as a powerful tool for facilitating the Great Reset. People should become familiar with this term, the Great Reset, because it captures the major changes that globalists have in store for the immediate implementation on a global scale. COVID underscores and highlights the importance of high self-sufficiency at a local community level. It is becoming painfully obvious that centralized globalist solutions to the big issues in the world today are simply not working. Rather, they undermine and weaken local communities. So although the forces of globalism are very prominent currently, many people, nevertheless, many people are now waking up and questioning globalist policies. Policies that prioritize localization are key, as opposed to the globalist agenda, which leads to the next question. Next question has been framed like this: can Vedic sociology make a contribution in addressing the issues of the 21st century? And the short answer, of course, is yes, most certainly. Many acknowledge that the institutions in the world today are not serving the needs of people in general. The political, religious, social, educational, economic, and financial institutions operating today have been usurped by bad actors who have used these institutions for personal gain. The institutions in the world today are meant, whether it's government or private, those institutions are meant, have been created and are meant to serve the needs of people, not to be used to exploit people. So Vedic sociology, also known as Varnashram Dharma, does indeed offer positive alternatives to this failing globalist culture. New institutions that prioritize localization and the needs of people in those communities are required. Varnashram Dharma draws on ancient knowledge preserved in the Sanskrit texts. These texts describe in detail a culture, a natural culture and natural systems and divisions of society in society that are relevant even in this modern 21st century environment. So eco-villages such as NAGARI eco-village are designed to implement these ancient and natural and simple systems and solutions. Now moving on to another question. Are there practical suggestions for navigating the complexities of contemporary society? So, practical suggestions. Well, let's start with getting informed. First suggestion is information. Get informed. Information is key. Educate yourself. Seek out people and information sources that you can trust. Learn how to look behind the mask of fake news, false narratives, and mainstream media. Learn more about Vedic sociology and Varnashram Dharma. Understanding current affairs from a Vedic perspective will give you unique and profound insights and inspiration to implement Vedic values into your own life, family, and community. And some further practical suggestions. Well, grow your own food. Start small. Grow food on your balcony, on your rooftop, in your backyard, on your front lawn. It really is amazing how much food you can grow in a very small space. And it really isn't difficult. It's actually enjoyable. Just start somewhere, start small, and gradually each growing season expand. Perhaps you will have to consider moving to a less crowded space, where there's more fresh air and space, especially plan to move out of the big cities that are increasingly becoming unlivable hellholes. This is a trend already happening in America. Over the past year alone, there has been a mass exodus from the big cities like New York. In the past year, less than a year since COVID started, since the lockdown started, over 400,000 people have packed their bags and their families and left their homes, abandoned their homes, and moved away from the city of New York, never planning to return. And the same phenomenon is happening in other cities throughout America, Chicago, Los Angeles, California. Millions of people are literally leaving the state. So communicate with like-minded people in your community and on the internet. And here's perhaps my most important suggestion. Work with children. We desperately need a generation of children who have the experience and training and love to carry on and carry out righting the ship as we older guys fade into the sunset. And one more suggestion. Simplify. We advocate the slogan, simple living and high thinking, as the formula for achieving happiness and fulfillment in this life. So let's move on to the final question that we want to comment on. Bhakti Raghava Maharaj has framed the final topic in this way. How can we best address and combat the global problems of climate change, desertification, loss of natural habitat, loss of biodiversity, and the extinction of species? Whoa, these are big, big problems. Problems that have reached crisis levels. Problems that the world leaders and institutions seem completely incapable of addressing. So how can eco-villages and their community members play a role in bringing about solutions? Books have been written, and more books will be written. But more than just writing books must be done. Of course, books are needed. Awareness is the first step. People need to be informed and educated, and individuals need to be open-minded enough to explore and consider new ideas, because business as usual is clearly not working. The mainstream narratives being propagated by media are having the opposite effect of dumbing down and suppressing the truth. Good information is the first step before good action can take place. So first, good information, then action. And the slogan, think globally and act locally, comes into play. So in final few comments, in the daily lives of our families and communities, real steps can be taken. Soil fertility, composting, growing your own food, energy conservation, initiatives that can occur at the local level and make a real difference. Support local initiatives that improve local autonomy and local economy and local resilience. Support local initiatives that address the health of the environment and the health of your community. There is a direct connection between your personal health and happiness and the health of the environment. So solutions to these big problems can begin at home and in your local communities. We also need leaders. Next point, we also need leaders. You personally, everybody should become a leader on some level. And we should also support other leaders who embrace and promote the same values. And finally, we need practical examples. Models that demonstrate a better way of doing things. We need to practice what we preach. Action speaks louder than words. We need grassroots solutions that are in harmony with Mother Nature and thus sustainable over time.
Yes, I'm just, I just came out of the screen. I need to come back to my, which means I have to share my screen again here. I need to come back, whoops, to my PowerPoint. Let's see, and just go to where we left off. Yeah. This is one point I wanted to, a few quotes from Srila Prabhupada, a little bit in line with what Balakrishna Prabhu was sharing. And I had a short video after that, but I think our time will not allow, and we have a not so good experience with showing videos. So a few, you know, anyone who has been reading Prabhupada's books over the years, and anyone who has been somewhat observing what is taking place in the world today, will know that because of not being in line with what is advocated in the in Shastra, what is not in line with Dharma. So Prabhupada made very heavy statements in reference to how modern civilization is a doomed civilization. Here's a few quotes from Bhagavad Gita. You are misled by so-called material civilization and you're doomed. Unless we take the Krishna consciousness movement, the human civilization is doomed, from Srimad Bhagavatam class, I believe, in Los Angeles. By not following a type of civilization which is ultimately doomed. On a number of occasions, these are just a few quotations, Prabhupada would say things like, modern civilization is a killing civilization. And therefore, we as devotees, individually and collectively, we will just, no, we're not going to show this. Let's see. Yeah. These, the last section actually is a call for action. This presentation, actually the last line in the GITA NAGARI, Prabhupada is telling save the world from, I mean, goes back in 1956 when this was published in his Back to Godhead magazine. So these are a few points before we get into some discussions here. Devotees should start local groups. This book, speaking about Varnashrama, very important for devotees to read and to discuss. Those who are living in India, I recommend that they connect with the ministry. Our Vinagopal Prabhu is traveling actually today on his way to Rishikesh. So I'm not sure if he's able to connect, but they have some initiative that was started actually many years back called Varnashram Research Teams. Devotees can actually come together, make such teams to discuss and research various aspects of Varnashrama Dharma. So that's taking place here in India. One can also connect. You can connect with our initiative here, which is extending beyond India. VCF, Varnashram Scholars Online. One can also find out more about the Om Sri Survi campaign. I'm sorry we could not actually view the video. Some technical problem was there. And you can, wherever you are, you can request the temple authorities to actually establish a Varnashrama department in your temple, in your city temple, actually, so that both for the benefit of those living in the cities and those outside the cities, more awareness, more discussions should be taking place. And there are a series of websites. I didn't get a chance to put them up. I could try to share them later on this group that we have here. So these are a few ways. I'm sure there are more. I will step out of the screen, or rather, stop sharing the screen. So it's not easy to make a final conclusion to, I would say, the topic of Varnashrama Dharma. It is a very broad, deep subject matter. I think we all realize, but at least some steps, a few thoughts and ideas we've mentioned, and possibly some of you have additional thoughts on this as well. In both individually, and I'll just close on this point here, both individually and collectively as a society, or if we're part of some community, we should definitely be trying to do the best that we can to address some of these problems and basically assist Srila Prabhupada in moving in that direction, at least working on some foundation so that our future generations can benefit from some of the groundwork that we're doing today. I'll stop here for now. And in case I don't get a chance, because conversations sometimes, as we have seen, it gets at the end of the session and then there's very little time left. But I just want to express my gratitude for the devotees who were participating, present, and also making different comments at the end of the different presentations that we have made. I will be posting the second assignment. Actually, I can just mention it now. The second assignment is going to be the same as the first one. That means the remaining modules that have been there, you just choose either one of them and just kind of summarize and like that. And the third assignment will be a surprise. I'll tell you later. We have to keep a few surprises in life. So I'll come back to you on that later on. So if anyone has any comments, either on our presentation this evening or overall in general, your electric hand. Whoops, I see one okay, Vishnu Tattva is there. Yes, Vishnu Tattva. Prabhu, go ahead. You have to unmute.
Yes. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Is it audible, Maharaj?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. So it is, yeah, we are very thankful to Your Holiness Maharaj. It is very deep. It is a very deep subject, and we should hear these videos again and again. Like our minds are very slow, so to understand this, we should hear so hear more and more, and that practical applications also Your Holiness told different. It is very wonderful actually. Gita Nagari Baru, Saranagati villages, and Ukraine, and some Indonesia. It is very wonderful, Maharaj. Similarly, today video also very wonderful. So, and one more thing, when we visit the this Varnashrama communities, then we feel that what is the importance of that, and we will enjoy that, Maharaj. Once we visit any, recently Your Holiness told some from India, Indonesia, some devotees visited, they told actually their experiences. It is very wonderful and they enjoyed like anything. So like that, if anybody wants that experience, if you visit some communities, then we'll get more inspiration, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, giving me this chance. Hare Krishna. Very
Thank you.
thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Kirtanath Prabhu. Yes.
Harisha Maharaj, I pray my humble obeisance to all Vaishnavas and Maharaj. Thanks for your seminar, which has highlighted so many things, and I would want to give you one small experience. Actually, this Gita Nagari essay, we have to name it. What my suggestion is like Gita Nagari community organization or community.
Prabhu, can you speak a little bit closer to the mic, possibly?
Yeah. See, instead of saying essay, Gita Nagari essay, you could always call it as Gita Nagari organization or development, something like that. Because when I first saw this advertisement in one of the, IDVM WhatsApp, I thought it was an essay writing competition or something. Then I went inside and I read it. Then I thought this is little different. So I think you can avoid that essay because generally it means some competition or something like that. That is one suggestion. And coming to the part of the community development and all that, as you have mentioned, it is a very difficult task, and definitely it will take a lot of time, and again we'll have some failures, some discomfort, so many things. Of course, as you said, you have to recover all that. But still, what I would say is we have already a lot of communities developed. Not only Gita Nagari, even other communities have developed, and they would have also come across some difficulties and things like that. Whatever good aspect, you can always take and implement as per whichever suits to Srila Prabhupada's instructions, and we can go ahead. And I am looking forward for the Varnashrama College and all activities, Maharaj. And keep us posted in some WhatsApp group or any system, so that all the like-minded people are ready to take part for any challenges or for any call for or for any community work, it can be done. See, for example, now I'm planning for this Vedic form community. Actually, I've been working with some like-minded people who are Go Sevaks and some are Om Sevaks. So they are interested, they are in cities, but they don't have any opportunities at all. So I have connected them and have made a program like, okay, 10 days you come and stay there and do whatever you can. Really, they're happy. In a year, 10 days is nothing at all for them. And we can collectively get a lot of groups like this and we can form, and it will come in a cycle, and we can always get good number of people. And in that, some people will say, I will come and be part of your community.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol. Hare Krishna. Kala Rupa Prabhu. Yes. You can unmute.
Yes.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Kalarupa Das from Togo. Please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
Maharaj, here I want to express my profound gratitude to all the senior devotees who continue to help us here in Togo. First of all, I express my gratitude to Devarishi Prabhu from France, who is the one who came here in Togo, he spent 2 months and a half here in Togo, something very special. So many people does not like to come to Africa, West Africa, especially West Africa, Black Africa, because they say that it is very difficult countries, so many things. But he came here and spent that time with us and teach us Bhakti Sasri. It was the beginning of myself. I can see my life. It's the beginning, the real beginning of my life. So I want to express my gratitude to him, and he continues to support us with the various courses, programs, and inspiring us, pushing us. It's not a very easy. It's not easy. It's not easy at all to keep that program with us, especially Black people. It is our conditional state. We should accept that and work to go forward. Okay. I want to express also my gratitude to Vishnu Tattva Prabhu, who is my astrology teacher right now. So he is giving us wonderful classes. I spent about one year with him with the astrology, Mina Tunaji astrology system. So that is helping us right now here in Togo with our program of GITA NAGARI. Venu Gopal Prabhu also, I express my gratitude to him, and you also, Maharaj. And I want to take this opportunity to make a request. We want you, Maharaj, to come here in Togo and bless our project for us. We want your feet to touch our land so that this project can continue.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Yeah, GITA NAGARI project. So thank to all devotees here, senior devotees here, and everybody we need the advice of everybody. Yes. And share your experiences with us. We are open. We are very open. We want to hear from you. We want to learn from you so that we can grow up. This group of Chintamani is with young people. They are all students, young people. So some just start working, and we want to convert everything they are doing in this project. So help us, and thank you very much, Maharaj, for everything. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Kalarupa Prabhu. Very nice to express your gratitude to different devotees who have extended their help. Karanadaksha Gishtu Prabhu. Yes, you're on.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. It's been very, very enjoyable the last 12 days. And what I was wanting to focus on was how I could assist you in setting up the global ministry.
Yes. We will be in contact, and we will be presenting more information and formulating, I suppose, opportunities for devotees like your good self, who are interested and have a very strong desire to help Prabhupada's Varnashrama mission actually manifest as very much desired by him. So I'm very much hoping that we can reach out to as many people as possible. There are ways to be involved even now, but I think this type of forum and this type of discussions help to bring like-minded devotees together, and that was mentioned a little earlier, actually, how the more we can, wherever we may be located now, if we can try to find devotees who have some appreciation, some interest in this whole aspect of Prabhupada's movement, then by their association, by discussing, then even on a small scale, locally, things can be taken up. And if more and more devotees do this in respective places, respective locations, then some nice developments gradually can take place. Thank you for participating, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. Let's see. I see. Okay. Our we have devotees who have been commenting quite regularly, so I'd like to request, Janalada Prabhu, kindly.
Okay, got it. Okay, one of the things I've noticed, first of all, I'm very inspired by what I'm hearing for the last week. Very inspired, and I'm glad I joined in. One of the things that I hear that it's a matter of emphasis, and I think it's not the right emphasis. And the emphasis I'm hearing is that rural communities, that is Varnashram. No, it's not. Rural communities are part of Varnashram, but they're not Varnashram. And rural communities, and I was at New Vrindavan for 9 years, and I think that's the goal, legitimate goal. I know it is, Prabhupada said it is, so that's there. We're not going to change that. And that's a wonderful goal, to get people back to the land, get them rural communities. But right now, although it's the goal, it shouldn't be the emphasis, because Prithu, when he was here, he organized all factions of human activity, miners, shippers, shoemakers, whatever. The military, he organized builders, all of them first. And then along with rural communities, farming. And then on that, he built the Brahminical class. And then on that, pure devotional service. So my point is that we need to understand that farming communities, rural communities, are the ideal goal. But that's not really the most important thing right now. The important thing is, and Prabhupada said this when he's in his conversations, is to organize people before we even get the land. Land is vital. But first of all, we want to organize the populace. And the populace are technicians, and they're accountants, and they're truck drivers, and they're ex-military and ex-pilot. They're all of these people. And this is what our focus should be on now. And that's how we should understand Varnashram. And that's how we should understand Varnashram.
Thank you for sharing that. It reminds me of what we were quoting some few days back in the context of Narada Muni's instruction to Yudhishthira Maharaj, whereby he mentions that when people develop different qualities, the more we have persons who are properly disposed and developing these qualities, then Varnashram communities can actually be established.
Yes.
We work with people, prepare them beforehand. I have been stressing, I'll just make a short comment in what you were mentioning when you said that the goal is not farm communities. I think it's important to keep in mind that Vedic culture, which is one of the slides at the very beginning of each presentation I was showing on the screen, is an agrarian-based culture.
No, Maharaj, I said that agrarian economy is the goal. But
Right.
right now, what we're working with, we're nowhere near that.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to prepare and work with individuals, which is, I think, the point you're making now. Yes, I think we are heading in the same direction. One more. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, Shaswata Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Maharaj, you mentioned about one farm community being established by Bharat Chand Prabhu.
Yes.
So Maharaj, like if you have to get more details about that farm community, in what stage it is, so how we can get more details about it, Guru Maharaj?
You can just contact him. I can send you his contact. I mean, those, wherever we may be, it's good to be aware of what's taking place, and actually, especially in India, where there's quite a bit of activity in that respect. The ministry, which is having its office here in Mayapur, should be able to provide such kind of details. And I definitely very strongly encourage devotees to visit such communities, spend a few days, and in this way become more acquainted and whatnot. Yeah, there's a number of devotees involved with this devotee, Bharat Prabhu. And by the way, they're also calling, we hope to gradually see more and more such communities with the name of GITA NAGARI, in keeping with what Prabhupada instructed in his essay on GITA NAGARI. Okay, so I think we will need to close now. And once again, thank you all very much. Don't forget about your essays, be good students, and we'll share later on with you the third assignment. Don't be afraid; it's going to be a pleasant surprise, I'm sure. So again, thank you all very much. And Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.